G'day and welcome to another edition of Hef's Homebrew. Today we're doing a taster on my home brewed Mexican lager. Just poured out of the keg. Bit of condensation there on the glass, but there it is. Quick chat about fermentation and what's happened since I finished fermenting. So we started at 10 degrees, 5 days at 10 degrees, and then raised by 1 degree a day, until we got to 18 degrees. Held it at 18 for 3 days, and then we started a slow cold crash, and eventually kept it down pretty low for 3 days. So it didn't get into the keg until it had been in the fermenter for 21 days, 3 weeks in total. The OG, if you didn't watch the brew day video, was 1050. It finished at 1010. It's been in the keg now for 4 weeks, so been in there for a while, but I mean technically probably not quite long enough if you're talking about a decent lagering period. But I've had probably 6 or 7 pints of it by now. I like the idea of tasting it at least periodically, just to learn how the beer changes and develops over a period of time. So anyway, let's have a look. It is a golden colour. It did pour with kind of a finger, or between 1 and 2 fingers of bright white head. Decent amount of carbonation, not a huge amount. To be honest, my preference is probably slightly on the lower side. Aroma. All right, so the main aroma I get from this comes from the Motueka hops. There's definite lime zest there in the aroma. A little bit of malt characteristic coming through as well, but it's mostly those Motueka hops. All right, let's go in for a taste. Cheers. It's very refreshing. It's certainly a good time of the year to be drinking a Mexican lager. This is being filmed in early February. At 5.25%, which is the final ABV, as you'd expect, it's still got a bit of body to it, but obviously with the corn, it has kept it manageable. The flavour has changed over time. It's pretty clean and pretty crisp as well. Early on, the Motueka hops threw a heap of lime, but it was really zesty lime. That has started to mellow a little bit. Interestingly, when Mrs. Hef had a try, the first thing that she got was not lime, but more of a tropical fruit, which I wasn't really getting at that point. I do get a bit of it now, probably more in the aroma than the taste. But yeah, it's a nice, easy drinking, refreshing Mexican lager. I thought though, let's put it up against a commercial version. Why not? This is from Volta on the Gold Coast, and because mine was brewed with Motueka with the intention of adding some lime flavour, well, it's no point putting up against something that doesn't have any lime in it. So here we go. I have reviewed this beer probably about 12 months ago. At the time, from memory, I mean, it was positive enough, but I certainly didn't give it a glowing review. I must admit, it's actually grown on me. I've had a few in the last couple of months. As I was saying, it's a good time of the year for Mexican lagers, I guess. Look, colour-wise, mine is darker, and I knew that was the case. Mine is probably a touch high in ABV for the style as well. This one, what are you coming in at? Good grief, where is it? Yeah, 4%. So 4, mine's 5.25. Lighter body. Even with the lime in there, and I mean, I haven't given it a squeeze or anything. There we go. Oop. Spray it across the bloody room. This is probably cleaner and crisper. And yeah, there's definitely, the Motueka is definitely throwing some additional flavours. It's not just lime. So, look, I would brew it again. And I think I said in the brew day video that a Mexican lager was probably not at the top of my to brew list, but I would happily brew it again. I think if and when I do brew it again, I won't use the Motueka. I don't think I'd substitute it with anything else. I think I'd just go with the Tettnang, and probably just with the bittering addition. Just keep it nice and clean. And if I feel like, or you, if you're brewing it, feel like adding some lime or lemon, then do that. Do that at drinking time. Just before I finish up, was lucky enough a few weeks ago to have little John drop by, who was kind of in the vicinity, but still took a fair chunk out of his day to drive to me and come and have a taste. He obviously provided some advice on my recipe. He brought a couple of beers with him, which we did some tasting of. He had a taste of a few of my beers as well, and just was really nice to catch up, meet in person, chat all things beer and brewing, and yeah, one of the people on YouTube and also active on social media, providing feedback and advice. Certainly someone who I've taken a lot from. So appreciated him making the time and the effort to come up and see me. All right. What's next? Not quite sure. I'm in two minds whether or not to brew another dark beer in preparation for winter. I'm only about halfway through the keg of the Schwartz beer, which is just absolutely amazing, still drinking beautifully. Or whether to do something light again. I've got the German lager yeast that Jez gave me. I'm maybe keen to have a go at something a bit hoppier as well. We'll see. All right, anyway, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time on Hef's Homebrew.